Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our I3 Pebble Go webinar. My name is Vanessa Favila, and my partner is DeAndrea Bennon. We're just going to share with you one of our new resources that the district has purchased for us this year, Pebble Go. In Pebble Go, this is a new digital resource you can use for research. There are all different categories for your students to use, and it's very student user friendly. Just a little bit about myself and DeAndrea. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Armstrong Elementary, and in my classroom we have 4 computers that are used daily, as well as an iPad cart that's shared among our grade level. Same thing with DeAndrea. She teaches 3rd grade at Rowlett Elementary and has 4 computers as well and an iPad cart. All right, so where to find Pebble Go? Pebble Go can be found on the district website. In order to get there, you are going to go to the district library page. If you click on the green book that's on your district computer, it will take you to the library page. From there you will choose your school. So I'm just going to choose Armstrong. From there you will get the digital resource page with all these wonderful resources. We're going to click on Pebble Go. When you get to Pebble Go, it automatically has you logged in, so it's not something that your students or you will have to put in an additional login for. And we are going to look just at some of these resources that are on here. In Pebble Go, it's organized by research categories. There's animals, there's science, there's biography, all kinds of things that your students can use and find information. So today we're just going to go ahead and look through the animals one. So as you can see, there are lots of choices to choose from. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the subcategories within Pebble Go. So we'll just click on amphibians. As you can see, it reads it to you. So that's another great thing for your emergent readers. It does read it for them. Within the subcategories, there are even more categories broken down under that. So as you see, amphibians gives you lots of other choices to choose from. Once you have chosen from those topics, it gives you lots of different things to choose from, and it will read it to your student. So it just has a main body of whatever it is about, and then there are different tabs that you can choose for different things to learn about that particular animal or whatever subject it is that you are interested in researching about. The great thing about Pebble Go is that it does read it to the student, and it also gives vocabulary words in red. So if there is a word in there that your student is unfamiliar with, they can easily just click on the word. And again, it will read what that word means.
Amphibian, a cold-blooded animal with a backbone and wet skin.
With this resource, there are also all kinds of other things that you can find whenever you're looking at a particular topic. Down at the bottom, there are videos. There might even be noises that the animal makes, a map of where you can find that animal, if that's what you're looking at. And this goes for every topic that you're looking at. So I'm going to go back to just the home and look at something else now. So if you wanted to look at biographies, and here there are all kinds of inventors, history makers, all kinds of things that kind of go with our social studies curriculum. So this would be a great way for you to have your students research something that is one of our social studies TEKs that needs to be met, and then give them something to do to show that they have learned it. Within these topics, you can also find Other things to do, there's teacher resources at the bottom of each page. So if you need help finding a great way to use some of these resources, there are all kinds of resources down there as well. There's timelines, like on this one for the biographies. So that would be a great thing for your students to be able to see kind of when in history was this person around, you know, looking at chronological order and things like that. You could also print these articles. So if it was something that you wanted for your students to do on the computer, but then maybe you also wanted them to do an additional assignment with this, and so they needed it printed out, you could print out the article. Looking at the teacher resources, there are lesson plans, there's reproducibles, there's even educator tutorials. So if you have a problem, you can click on those and find other things to do or ways to fix maybe any problems that you might have. Going back to animals, I'm going to look a little bit at some of the other things that are on here. As you see down here at the bottom, there are games and questions of the day. So these are other things that you can add in to your activities. This could be something that you put in a station and just have students come over. They might listen to one of these topics and then play a game, or you might even add the question of the day to your morning just to start off the day if you're starting a new topic. So let's click on games and see what kinds of activities there are. This one, Zoom, is just a fun activity that is going to slowly start showing the picture and the students have to guess it. So it's based on what they've just been doing with animals. Jigsaw is another one. This one kind of does the same thing. It's a jumbled picture, and they have to try to figure out the animal before the picture is put back in order. Quick match. Gives them different pictures to match up and see if they are correct. So like this one is working on classification matches for animals. So all of these are great activities that you could do, have in a station and have students complete them, just showing that they understand about whatever topic it is that you have them looking at. I know for me, being a kindergarten teacher, this week we've been talking about owls and bats. And so I've been having my class go in. The pictures on here are really nice in the fact that it reads it to them, because I can just very easily just say, these are the steps you're going to do. They know how to get to Pebble Go easily because we've gone through those steps, which I'll review again for you. When you first click on the green library book, then you'll want to select your campus. And then from your campus, you'll get the digital resource page. One thing that I have found out, if they don't click exactly on the Pebble Go logo, it will take them to another screen. So make sure that you actually click on Pebble Go. And when you do that, it will bring you to the Pebble Go homepage where you have these choices. Another great thing about Pebble Go is that for your Spanish-speaking students, they do have the animals in Spanish right now. So that's another great resource for them as well. Going back and looking at animals, let's just look at the frogs again. So within here, you have all of your different sections that this particular topic is going to talk about. And like I said, it will read it to them.
Frogs are amphibians. Their wet skin can be many colors. Long back leg.
It talks about whatever animal or topic it is, going into habitats. So this is a great thing. We use this a lot in kindergarten, talking about different habitats. So it will go over habitats. Again, all of your vocabulary words are going to be in red. And when your students click on those, then they are able to find out what that word means. So all of this is great for them being able to do this independently. Tells them what kind of food that they eat, breaks down the life cycles. Again, here's some more vocabulary words. Also gives them fun facts, so some things that they might not have known about that animal. Another great thing about this is if you have your students doing their own research, this will give them related articles. So if there are other things that are related to that animal, like what might live in the wetlands or more about amphibians, they are able to use those also as their other sources of information. Looking down at the bottom, some of our other media that we have. So we have a video. So here's an example of a video that would be about frogs. So this video doesn't have any volume. It's just kind of a video underwater of the tadpole. So just kind of another thing to give students reference to, especially if they've never seen it before. This just has some great videos that share this information with them. Looking at the listen is usually a recording of the animal making a noise. Just using this with my students, they find that very interesting, the listening part. We've done several different animals and talked about the different sounds and how they thought maybe it sounded different than the recording. The range map is a great resource, especially if they're doing a research topic, then that will actually give them where their animal can be found. There are also activities that you can find. So you can print off activities, share what you know. This one actually prints off a picture, and so they're labeling the parts of the animal. It gives them the words that they need to label. Again, like if you needed to print off the article, if you wanted them to do this maybe at home after they had watched it and then take this home and do another activity with it, you could print off the article. It gives them exactly what was in what they heard or read on the screen, as well as the picture. There are also just images, so you could print off images and use this as something else in your classroom, possibly as stations or during your science time, just to kind of review the things that they had learned. And this also gives them the site. So if your students are doing a research paper, all the cited information that they need is right here. It tells them where it is, they can print this or they can copy it down if they're doing some kind of research paper. Looking at the teacher resources, if you click on your teacher resources within a category, it'll give you lesson plans for that particular category. So animal classification chart, bird research, movement tree diagram, all kinds of things. So it gives you not only a lesson plan to use, but you can also have activities. So this breaks it down for you, how long it's going to take, what are your goals, other standards that you might be using, your materials that you're going to need, directions. So it really just breaks this down for you into all of the different steps that you would need. It gives you a chart that you could use and have students complete just to show that they have listened to and understand whatever concept it is that you're having them work on. Looking at the reproducibles, there are lots of things to choose from in here. This one has insect and spider word find. So it's just a simple word find. The words are at the bottom. So all of these things can be used. You can print them out. You can use the things that are just for them to listen to. But all of these are just really great resources. There's even letters for you to send home just to let parents know this is what we're working on. These are the things that your student is doing. And that's the great thing about Pebble Go is that your students can do this at home as well. The way they would do this at home is they would just go again to the library resources page. So they could find that from your school website. And the same thing, they're just going to click on Pebble Go, and they'll be able to do all of the great things that you can do in your classroom at home as well. So this would be a great thing for you to introduce in the classroom so students know how to use it. And then when you are assigning research projects, then they can use this at home to complete those projects pretty much independently, just because this is so user-friendly. Don't forget, if you have any questions.
Teachers, if you have Morgan Franks in your room, please give me a call at 43500 Morgan Franks. If you have her in your room, please call me at 43500.
Don't forget, if you have questions, to type them in the comments, and Deandra will be happy to answer them for you.
Fish.
Everything that your student will need to write a research paper, or even just to do some research on something that you're doing in the classroom, can be found on this site and is completely user-friendly. Everything pretty much is read to them. So it's not something that they're going to struggle with trying to read and understand. They can just listen. At the bottom of the page, there's also the question of the day. So this one is just about animals. What is your favorite bird? So this would just kind of be a topic that you could use to kind of start your day, especially if you're starting with a new topic that you haven't talked about, just to kind of get some background knowledge and just kind of make it something that is relatable for the kids. Teachers can use this tool during stations. You could use it working with a student, helping them go through the steps of doing a research paper. Everything that your student needs to write a research paper can be found on this site. There's no searching, trying to find, oh, where was this, anything like that. Everything that is on here will be found at that bottom section underneath your main body of your topic. If you need other research options, you can definitely check on the digital resource page that's on our Garland ISD website. There are tons of things to choose from. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask them. Deandra will also be putting a link so that you can get credit for this course. So I'll go over one more time how to get here. It's pretty simple. Again, from the green book, you click on your school. From your school, you will get the Pebble Go page, and then it will take you straight to the Pebble Go home. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you're able to use this in your classroom.